Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Mangesh Dushing, working as an assistant professor in chemistry at Maratha Vidyaprasarak Samaj, Nashik. Friends, in last video we saw elimination reactions, types of elimination reactions, that is E1 reactions, E2 reactions and E1 CB reactions. In this particular video, we will learn about E2 reactions in details. Friends, what is E2 reactions? So, bimolecular elimination reactions are called as E2 reactions. For example, the elimination reactions on 2-bromopropane. So 2-bromopropane as a substrate, if we are using sodium methoxide as a base, strong base, so in presence of sodium methoxide and heat, we will get a product propane. Friends, if we when the rate of this reaction was studied, it was observed that it depends upon the concentration of substrate as well as base. So if you study the rate of this reaction, the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of 2-bromopropane and concentration of sodium methoxide. That's why the rate of this reaction is equal to K2 into concentration of 2-bromopropane into concentration of sodium methoxide. K2 is the proportionality constant for the bimolecular elimination reaction. Friends, thus the reaction follows second order kinetics reaction. It indicates that the slow step, that is rate determining step of this reaction, involves one molecule of substrate and one molecule of base. So based on this Hughes and Ingold, these were the two scientists, have suggested E2 mechanism. So according to this rate of the reaction, change in rate of the reaction, Hughes and Ingold suggested E2 mechanism. So we'll see the E2 mechanism now. So as we know that bimolecular elimination reactions are called as E2 reactions. So according to the rate of the reaction, Hughes and Ingold suggested this mechanism. So this is our substrate. So whatever the living group is attached to that carbon is called as alpha carbon, while the neighboring carbon is called as beta carbon. If we are using a base, then base abstracts that beta hydrogen. This sigma electrons going down to form a alpha carbon and beta carbon double bond, and this leaving group will leave. So we will get this transition state. The transition state contains base as well as leaving group. So base proton sigma bond partially form, beta carbon hydrogen sigma bond partially break, alpha carbon and beta carbon pi bond partially formed, and alpha carbon leaving group partially, that sigma bond breaks. Immediately this transition state is breakdown and to form a product, that product is called as alkene. So these are the leaving group. This is conjugate acid which is formed by abstraction of proton by this base. So this is the mechanism suggested by the Hughes and Ingold. So friends, what are the characteristics of this mechanism? So this is one step mechanism. So all this bond formation and bond breaking processes happens into the one step, that is concerted mechanism. So the leaving group halogen atom takes place, a bonding, whatever that the leaving group, this leaving group takes all these sigma electrons with it and forms a negatively charged, while base forms a sigma bond with this hydrogen and these electrons leaving over here to form a pi bond. All these operations, means bond forming and bond breaking processes, occurs simultaneously, that is one step mechanism via this transition state. So what are the evidences for E2 mechanism? There are three evidences. We will learn one by one. First one is kinetic isotopic effect, second one is element effect, and third one is absence of beta hydrogen exchange. So we will start first, that is kinetic isotopic effect. First, what is kinetic isotopic effect? If the rate of reaction is changed due to replacement of some atoms into the molecule by its isotope, then it is known as kinetic isotopic effect. So one of the atom of the substrate is replaced by the isotope of that atom, then if there is a change in kinetic what is that, change in rate of the reaction, then that is called as kinetic isotopic effect. For example, the elimination reactions of this compound in presence of sodium ethoxide as a base, and we will get this styrene as a product. So in this case, this OET minus, that is ethoxide ion, abstract this beta hydrogen. This beta carbon hydrogen bond will break, that forms a pi bond in between alpha carbon and beta carbon, and leaving group Br that leaves. Suppose this reaction is carried out, just we changed hydrogen as its isotope deuterium, and same reaction if you carry it out, again we will get by same mechanism we will get this alkene. If you study the rate of this both reactions, then the Kh, that is the rate constant for the first reaction if this is the hydrogen, and Kd is the rate constant if this is the D. Kh by Kd is equal to 7. It means that first reaction is 7 times faster than the second reaction. It means that CH bond breaking is faster than the CD bond breaking. So it requires less energy and requires higher energy. Friends, it clearly indicates that in E2 elimination reaction, CH bond breaking, this CH bond breaking must occur into the rate determining step, that is slow step. So from kinetic isotopic effect, we conclude that the C beta hydrogen bond breaking process occur into the rate determining step, that is slow step. Second evidence, that element effect, the nature of leaving group. Suppose this is a substrate, this is the leaving group. If you are using the base, any base, constant base, that is suppose sodium ethoxide or sodium methoxide, and we will get this alkene as a product. Now same reaction if you carried out by using or changing the leaving groups only, keeping other factors same, means base, temperature, concentrations, all factors keeping the constant, just we are going to change the leaving groups and then study the rate of the reactions. If you change these leaving groups like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and if you find out the relative E2 rates, relative rate of reactions, then if fluorine is there, suppose this is the 1 as a relative rate, then if you are if we are changing fluorine to chlorine, then reaction rate, that is E2 rate, is 70 times faster than the first one, while in case of Br that will be 4 into 10 raised to 3, that rate will be higher, that is 10 raised to 3 times more. If iodine is there, then reaction will be very faster, that is 10 raised to 4 times more than the first one. So it clearly indicates that as a leaving group ability is in order, as we know that iodine is the best leaving group, then Br, then Cl, then F. F is the bad leaving group. So change in rate of these reactions is clearly indicates that the C, this carbon leaving group bond breaking process, that also occur into the slow step, that is rate determining step. So element effects says that the alpha carbon and leaving group bond breaking process is occur in slow step, that is rate determining step. The third evidence for the E2 mechanism is absence of beta hydrogen exchange. Friends, in mechanism there is a competition in between E2 mechanism and E1CP mechanism. E2 mechanism, that is concerted mechanism, while E1CP mechanism, in that case the reaction goes via formation of conjugate base. Suppose this is the 2-phenyl ethyl bromide. If you are using a base, then this ethoxide abstract this proton and this sigma electron goes to the carbon. So this is the first step, and we will get this carbanion as a intermediate or transition state. So what will happen? The carbanion donates its electron to form a double bond or pi bond in between alpha carbon and beta carbon, this leaving group will leave. So this it happens like this. This electron goes over here. Here will be double bond will form, and then Br minus will leave. We will end it with the alkene. So this is called as E1CB mechanism. The reaction goes via conjugate base formation. This is called as conjugate base after abstraction of this proton by this base. Friends, if this conjugate base is formed, then if we are using a solvent like deuterated ethanol, then this conjugate base may abstract this deuterium from the deuterated ethanol as a solvent. Then the recovery of this starting material with H is replaced by the hydrogen. Previously that was H. Now if we are using this solvent, we will get this D. So this occurs, the exchange of this hydrogen to deuterium is occur in presence of carbanion, that is conjugate base form. But if the reaction is had really followed by E1CB mechanism, the unreacted substrate should contain deuterium. But in experimentally, the unreacted substrate did not contain any deuterium. There is no exchange of beta proton. There is no exchange of beta proton from proton to deuterium. So this reaction is not following the E1CB mechanism. That all the reaction follows E2 mechanism failed to show this hydrogen exchange. So it clearly indicates that reaction E2 reaction does not goes via formation of carbanion, that is conjugate base. It does not follow E1CB mechanism. So according to these three evidences, the E2 mechanism is fixed, that is concerted mechanism. C beta hydrogen bond breaking process, C alpha leaving group bond breaking process, and C alpha C beta bond formation process are occur at simultaneously together, that is concerted mechanism. Now we will see the orientation and reactivity in E2 mechanism. So if the substrate contains more than one type of beta hydrogen, then more than one product will be formed. For example, this is the substrate. So in this case, there is only one type of beta hydrogen. So product will be only one, because base will abstract only this proton beta hydrogen. This electron goes over here, leaving group will leave. We will get this product alkene. There will only one product is possible, because only one type of beta hydrogen is there. But if the substrate contains two types of beta hydrogens, suppose this is the substrate, now this is CH3 and this is CH2. So there are two types of beta hydrogen, one is CH3, one is CH2. So in that case, there is a possibility of formation of two products. Suppose this beta hydrogen is abstracted by the base, then we will get this product, one alkene. But if base will abstract this proton beta hydrogen, then we will get this substituted alkene as a product. So there are two elimination products are possible, and these are the isomers of each other. So mixture of two isomers of products is possible, and one alkene is formed as a major product and other will be major. So one of them is major product, one of them is minor product. Friends, suppose we will take this example 2-bromobutane in alcoholic KVH and heat. There are two types of beta hydrogens. So we will get two products, 2-butene and 1-butene. Experimentally we will find out that 2-butene is a major product while 1-butene is a minor product. In this example 2-bromopentane, if you are using base, there are two types of beta hydrogen product, beta hydrogens are there. One is beta dash, one is beta. So one is CH3 hydrogens, one are CH2 hydrogens. So there again two products are possible, that is 2-pentene and 1-pentene. 2-pentene as a major product while 1-pentene is a minor product. In similarly, if we are using 2-bromo 2-methyl butane, then again two types of beta hydrogens are possible, are there. That's why two products are possible, that is 2-methyl 2-butene as a major product while 2-methyl 1-butene as a minor product. Friends, after observations of this type of reactions and their product percentage, Alexander Sedgwick formulated a rule in 1875 known as Sedgwick rule for the elimination reactions. So, according to this Alexander Sedgwick, in an elimination reaction, the more substituted alkene formed as a major product. That's why these are the more substituted alkenes are formed as a major product. Thank you friends. Thank you for the watching.